What a freaking roller coaster of a day. Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to another episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom. There's just so many emotions going on right now. Grossi, and today we are going to break down the insanity, which was just the tampering period. It's just tampering. Day one of free agency, which is technically not supposed to begin until Wednesday, but it is in full swing, and the Green Bay Packers were a major part of it, with some major releases, some major signings. We're going to go through it all and just try to cope. And let's start off with the first release, which, it's a tough day for Packers fans. The Green Bay Packers officially released All-Pro left tackle David Bakhtiari. After 11 seasons with the Packers, Bakhtiari will finish as one of the greatest left tackles to ever play in Packers franchise history. And of course, this is not an unexpected move. We've been talking about this for months, probably even longer, going back into the past couple of years. David Bakhtiari, unfortunately, suffering that catastrophic knee injury on New Year's Eve a few years ago, which completely changed the course and trajectory of his entire career and most likely cost the Packers a couple of Super Bowl berths and potential victories. And while I'm not going to really just get stuck on the past and what could have been, I do want to focus on what Dave Bakhtiari has done for this franchise. He kind of is that last remaining guy from the Aaron Rodgers era, and it's just sad, man. You just wish that he could have gone off on a better note. Though I will say the fact that his final game was against the Bears and it was flipping off Chicago, I don't think you could envision a better ending of a Packers career. So that's solid. He also made it clear that he is not done playing football. Everybody imagines that he's likely going to go to the Jets, so we'll potentially see him in a different shade of green this upcoming season. And with this move, the Packers are going to be saving $20.9 million in cap space, considering he was a $40 million cap hit. Of course, this is not the only release that they did. We'll talk about Aaron Jones, but Devondre Campbell also being released. But this one, it hurts a little bit because you gotta love 69, the number, you freaks. But it'll always be number one in our hearts. So, Dave Bakhtiari, we appreciate the ever-living heck out of you. In addition, these aren't releases, but a couple of former Packers also signed today. You had Darnell Savage signing a 3-year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and John Runyon Jr. signing with the Giants, hoping the best for both of them. But let's talk about our first major addition, and that was the complete shock of signing running back Josh Jacobs. That's right. When we first saw this, the first thing that went through my head was, wait a minute, what does this mean about Aaron Jones? And we were told almost immediately that we're keeping them both. And so for an hour, it was the happiest of days because Josh Jacobs is a major upgrade over A.J. Dillon. And right from the start, it was a 4-year, $48 million contract. And I was like, holy crap, man, that is a ton of money. But really what it comes down to is $12.5 million as a signing bonus, a little over $14 million total for year one. And then everything else is up in the air and we'll wait and see. So while yes, it is a very front-loaded contract, not the worst deal here. Josh Jacobs only 26 years old as well. And last season, he didn't play well, marred by injuries, missed 4 games, and was on a very bad Raiders offense. But previous years has been one of the best running backs in the league. And so the upside here is significant. And when he was going to be the running back 2 behind Aaron Jones, I was super excited because Josh Jacobs is used to running a cajillion times a season. So I thought that they got him for a decent deal and he was going to be able to sit behind Aaron Jones and be able to just alternate. It would have been amazing. Now looking forward, in fact, that he's our RB1, and I imagine the Packers are going to be drafting some running backs as well. It does change my feelings slightly that we released Aaron Jones for Josh Jacobs, just considering what Aaron Jones meant to this team, but we'll talk about that. But overall, I do like this signing. If they can get the best out of Josh Jacobs, this will look really, really good. And regardless of who we bring in via the draft, they can sit behind Josh Jacobs and it could potentially take some of that workload off of him and he could be even more effective. And considering it looks almost identical to the contract we gave Aaron Jones a few years ago, it's not the worst. Considering he has potentially 4 good years left, the Packers are going to be able to utilize all of that. And so, yeah, it's a wait and see for Josh Jacobs, but so far, I'm pretty content with it. But that gets us into a different topic and something I'm not very content with, and that is the Green Bay Packers releasing Aaron Jones. Because for a moment, We had the best running back tandem in the league. I was filled with so much joy. I put out a reaction video, and they said they were working on the contract because, of course, Goody wanted to reduce the cap hit that Aaron Jones was going to have this season. He already took a pay cut last year, and unfortunately, talks fell apart, and the Green Bay Packers announced that they will be releasing Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones finishes his career as a Packer number 3 in rushing yards, number 3 in 100-yard rushing games, and number 4 in rushing TDs, which ain't too bad. He was due $12 million this year, and at 29 years old, this was very apparent that Goody did not want to pay that. It looked like things were going to be fine. As of 2 o'clock, they were still negotiating a deal, and like I said, things fell through, and this is legitimately a gut punch, because there aren't many players that really transcend the organization. You have guys like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre who definitely do it, but Aaron Jones is one of those guys. As just a Packers fan, there is not a single player that I can think of that has better represented the team that I love most in the world. Aaron Jones is that guy, whether it's his community work, whether it's him taking pay cuts, whether it's his production on the field, whether it's him lifting the head of Dontavian Wicks after a drop and telling him, hey, we're going to get it next time, just being that locker room presence. He just is that guy. There's a reason why years ago when he lost his father and he had his ashes in his necklace and he lost it during one of the games at Lambeau Field, that the grounds crew searched tirelessly to find it, because Aaron Jones is that guy you go to bat for. And so from a personal level, I absolutely hate this move because I'm a fan and I absolutely love Aaron Jones. And if there was one guy that I thought should be a Green Bay Packer for his entire career, it was Aaron Jones. Unfortunately, things did not work out that way. Aaron Jones mentioning on Instagram that he's trying to get what MVS got, so he's going to go for a ring, and I hope he gets it. I wish him absolutely nothing but the best, because he, in my eyes, is one of the greatest Packers of all time. He's legitimately up there. He carried the G, and I got to tell you, I'm going to miss the ever-living hell out of him. So thank you so much, Aaron Jones, for everything you've done. It's a tough day, and yeah, I just wish him absolutely nothing but the best and can't wait for him to be inducted in the Packers Hall of Fame. And then after the lowest of lows, we went back to the highest of highs because the Green Bay Packers made a huge signing in free agency, bringing in the top safety in free agency, and that is former Giant Xavier McKinney.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
That's right, we did it! Pop the champagne! We got him. I put out a video early this morning talking about 5 potential free agent prospects the Packers could target, and number 1 on my list was Xavier McKinney, and the Packers went out and got him. Signed him to a 4-year deal worth $68 million. He's gonna be the 3rd highest paid safety in the league after this deal, and this is a huge upgrade for what was pretty much a desolate safety group. As I mentioned earlier in today's video, had 116 tackles this past season, didn't allow a single TD in coverage, and he's only 24 years old. The average age of the Packers right now is under 25, and the fact that you got a guy that is not going to be a stopgap, not a guy who you're just going to have to replace in a couple of years, hopefully, you got a guy who is going to be back there for a while, I could not be happier. The Packers haven't made moves like this in free agency since 2018, and it's kind of freaking awesome for them to address this position, which was one of drastic need. In my opinion, it was their highest need. Now they're going to look potentially at linebacker, which they still have plenty of time to address, but getting Xavier McKinney is going to be phenomenal. He can help in the run game. He, of course, helps in coverage, and he is going to help make that secondary so much better. I'm excited to see how Jeff Hafley is going to utilize him, but yes, my excitement for Xavier McKinney is through the frackin' roof. So while yes, releasing Aaron Jones and David Bakhtiari definitely made for a sad day, this makes me really excited for the future of the Green Bay Packers. Xavier McKinney hopefully will be that guy. And I wouldn't be surprised, as I said, they still bring in another free agent or address it in the draft. But now they have flexibility when it comes to the draft. And that is the most important thing with a bunch of draft picks. The Packers currently have 11. And yeah, overall, a sad day, a happy day, a day filled with a lot of emotions. But yeah, overall, a lot of excitement for this upcoming season. But, of course, let me know what you think down in the comments below. How do you feel about the 2 big signings and the 2 big releases? Let me know. You guys find me at Tom Grossi Comedy, all social media you see down below. A big shout and thank you to all the patrons and YouTube members for supporting this channel. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.